everybody. So recently I got a request to do a video of Windows 8 on a netbook. You know, I was thinking, I don't think I've ever done a video of Windows 8 or 8.1 on a netbook. So we need to fix that. So here we have the Acer Aspire 1 ZG5 netbook here. First I'm going to go ahead and start it up. It has something on it. I think it has Windows Vista on it, because I did a video a while back of tossing Windows Vista on this thing. Matter of fact, I did a video featuring a legacy update. Been a while since this thing's been started up. So this is a ZG5 netbook. It has 1.5 gigabytes of memory, and I can see we're actually resuming from a hibernation state. This will be interesting. So 1.5 gigs of memory, Intel Atom N270 processor, and currently Windows Vista. Not sure what version. I think it was Home Premium, might be Business, I don't know. And one thing you can notice is how this thing is running Windows Vista quite well. Okay, so it's Vista Home Premium. Yeah, that was the thing that I was always interested of, was the fact that these things were shipped with Windows XP back in the day because Vista was deemed too slow. But yet, when I got this thing, and of course it came pre-installed with Windows XP. Now the first thing I did was I wiped it into the clean install of XP to get all the Acer junkware off of it. But I only ran XP on it for a very brief amount of time. I think I only had XP on it for maybe a year, if that. I ran XP on this thing back through 2009. This was my main computer back then. And in late 2009, it was early 2010, I think it was. Sometime around then, I put Windows Vista Business on it. I got it for free from school. And then shortly thereafter, I upgraded to Windows 7. But anyway, got Windows 8.1 loaded on this USB drive. We'll just have to see if it will boot up off of this. It probably will. Now, of course, I probably could just begin the installation from Windows Vista, but we're going to try to do a clean install from the actual drive, actually boot off of it. So just a real quick run through here. I don't think there's anything I particularly care about of this installation of Windows Vista. But what the heck, let's go ahead and try Windows 8 on this thing. Again, it's actually Windows 8.1, but anyway. One thing I should note is we do have a different hard drive in this than the stock one. I think it's a 250 gigabyte 7200 RPM drive. Okay, let's select our flash drive. Let's see if it'll boot off of that. Maybe not. Okay, we're back in Windows Vista. So what we'll do is we'll just run the installer from within here. Oh, okay. We are currently running. Okay, so we got 32-bit Windows on here. That's our problem. Okay, we are in. Let's let this thing load off the USB drive. Okay, so it looks like we cannot run 64-bit Windows on this particular netbook. So this is the Aspire 1 ZG5. and it has the Atom N270. So that being said, let's go ahead and shut this one down, and we're going to switch over to my newer netbook, which I think is a model 532H. I don't know if that's the actual model. I mean, these things have like 2 model numbers. Like the ZG5 is also known as an ALA 150, depending on which model number you look at. So this other one is a NAV 50 or 532H, depending on which model number you look at. Alright, so I think this machine here has Ubuntu on it. Let's go ahead and start it up and see what it does have on it. So this one I have ran Windows 11 on before, so we know it will run 64-bit. So let's see what we have here. I think it's, yeah, it's definitely here we are. It's definitely loading up something. There we are. There's Ubuntu. It just took a moment there. And as you can see, there is the Ubuntu desktop. So let's go ahead and shut this down, and then we'll go ahead and begin installation of Windows 8.1. Okay, let's let this load up here and see how it goes. Okay, we are in now. So that's quite a big difference I didn't quite realize about the old netbook versus this one here. The Atom N270 doesn't really support 64-bit, whereas the N450 does. Now I could technically install Windows 8 on that other machine. I just have to use a 32-bit copy instead of 64-bit. Okay, so we'll choose Windows 8.1 Pro. So in this machine we have an 80 gigabyte 5400 RPM drive. I would swap the hard drive out of the other one to this, but getting the hard drive out of the ZG5 requires a near complete teardown of the machine, whereas on this machine you just take one door off and there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and proceed forward with installation. And we will come back once we are ready to move on to the next steps. Okay, we are ready to move on to the next steps. Let's go ahead and get me a mouse, because I do not like the palm rest, or excuse me, the touchpad on this particular machine. It's awful. Yeah, let's just say it's awful. Funny thing is, the USB ports on this machine are so tight because they've hardly ever been used. Unbelievably tight. There we are. Okay, we're going to skip this part because we don't have a product key. Definitely been a while since I've set up Windows 8 or 8.1. Let's change it to something, anything besides purple. Anything besides purple. One thing I do like about Windows 8.1 setup is it actually asks you for a computer name. We'll just call it Netbook 2. So one thing I do like about Windows 8 setup that they really should bring back to Windows 10 and Windows 11. Maybe it'll put it in Windows 12, I don't know. I do think it's kind of important to at least ask for a computer name. We're not going to connect to Wi-Fi right now. At least we have the option to skip it without doing a whole bunch of hacking. And we'll customize. Automatically get device drivers. Sure. Yeah, sure on that. No. 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 Of course, that's off already. No. 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 And no. Turn them all off. Okay. See if my trick works in Windows 8 to bypass the "hi, we're happy you're here" stuff. Let's try at least launching Task Manager. Okay. You can see the hard disk is actually getting used pretty hard here. Maybe I should have put a solid state drive in this thing. Oh boy, what's it doing now? Oh, we almost had a desktop, but no. We gotta get the start screen first. So yeah, you can, of course, in Windows 8.1, it does give you the options to go straight to the desktop instead of start. That's a big one. That's a very big one. Alright, so turn off the freaking charms while we're at it too. Turn that off too. Alright, because that way when I put the mouse in the upper right corner of the screen, it's not going to, well, show the charms. Alright, so let's go ahead and connect this to the internet. That way it can fetch drivers and all that good stuff, and we'll come back here in a bit and give this thing a little run. Okay, let's go ahead and just take a look here at Windows Update. Now, I'm not sure if Windows Update is going to work on Windows 8.1 now, because of course Windows 8.1 is no longer supported, and we may have to go the legacy update route on this to get updates. Who knows? Let's see. And I just thought of that after I stopped recording, and I was like, oh wait, this ain't Windows 10. Windows Update is not quite as invasive in Windows 8.1 as it is in Windows 10. Windows 8.1 update kind of reminds me more of Windows 7. And that's why some people prefer to stick with Windows 8.1 instead of moving to Windows 10. And of course, you can see that it's, once I connected to the internet, it set our time zone to Pacific time. I cannot stand that. I cannot stand when it does that. Okay, time is now correct. Okay, so I'll let this thing to run for a little while, and you can see it's still checking for updates. And if we pull up Task Manager, things ain't looking so good. Look at this memory usage. Look at the disk usage. It's up there. So for example, I mean, it's Windows Update is obviously the one that's using up all the resources, but yeah, it's definitely struggling for sure. So you can see here it's just at an absolute crawl. It's really bad. So what I'm trying to do is go in here and see if I can kill the Windows Update service, because it's just hogging up everything. You can see it's just really, yeah, really slow to respond. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the service. It could be using up so much memory right now because it's trying to search for updates, but it can't find them because perhaps Microsoft has already shut down the Windows Update service for Windows 8.1 because Windows 8.1 is not supported anymore. But at least I do want to see if I can get drivers for this, because we are missing drivers for sure. I haven't actually looked in Device Manager yet, but let's go ahead and have a look. I'll have to see if we can update drivers from Device Manager. I know in Windows 10 it basically dumps you into Windows Update for drivers, but we'll have to see if we can download drivers off the internet directly from Device Manager. Now, again, that's something else that probably will no longer function because, of course, Windows 8.1 being out of support. So, we may end up having to install Legacy Update just to get Windows updates and driver updates and all that good stuff on here. Now, of course, I could manually hunt down drivers, but I want to be able to see if we can have Windows Update or Windows itself do it. So you can see we are definitely missing a graphics driver right now. And right now it's probably just using the basic display adapter, like of course in Windows 10. Yes, Windows 8 and Windows 10 have a lot of similarities. And I knew for almost 100% certainty that it would run super slow on this thing. And I was not wrong. It is definitely running really slow. Let's see. Are we still trying to kill Windows Update? I mean, look at this RAM usage. I mean, it's maxed out. So you see, almost 100% RAM usage. That poor hard disk definitely getting the crap beat out of it right now. Windows could not stop the Windows Update service on local computer. The service did not respond to the start or control request in a timely fashion. Well, no crap. Okay. I reckon it's going to have to do a hard restart. Not that I recommend shutting your computer down like that, but we can't get it to respond, so there you have it. And like Windows 10 and Windows 11, the boot animation works just fine on the netbook's 1280 by 600 screen resolution. Actually, it might be 1024 by 600, excuse me. Of course, in Windows 7, you have to have at least, I think, 1024 by 768 in order for the starting Windows boot animation to work, because otherwise it just reverts back to the Windows Vista boot animation. That's one thing that always would happen when you would install Windows 7 on a netbook, because the screen resolution only being 1024 by 600, and this wasn't big enough. So we'll let this start up and we'll see what else we can do with it. But you can see it's just running badly slow. I think at some point in the past I may have installed Windows 8 on a netbook, but I don't know if I ever upload that to YouTube. Okay, we're getting to the user sign in now. I'm not going to spend much more time on this right now because it's super late, but see if we get anywhere. Well, at least now we came to the desktop this time, and we are not getting shift it back over to the start screen. Alright. You can see things are a little bit more responsive now. Yeah, Windows Update was just absolutely killing this thing. Yeah, definitely a bit more responsive now. So we'll go into Device Manager. And let's see if we can at least get the graphics driver. It'd be nice to at least have that. If we can't, then we'll have to fetch Legacy Update. Okay, let's attempt to update our software here. Our driver, I mean. Okay, it's going to search online. This is how Windows 7 would do things. And of course, Windows 10, it dumps you into Windows Update, which I can't stand. I do miss being able to simply update driver software from Device Manager. Come on, Microsoft, bring it back. Anyways, we'll let this run and we'll see what happens. We'll see if we end up in the same situation as before. Look at the memory, it's already up to... Yeah, look at that RAM usage. Yeah, that's not good. So right now it's having to dump everything over into swap. And of course with that hard drive, it's just painfully slow. Alright, so I think what's going on is we're going to have to install Legacy Update. Yeah, you can see, oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely slowing down now. Which I should note that we have 2 gigabytes of RAM in this thing, which is the absolute maximum this machine will accept. And we are using pretty much all of it. So I've disconnected the network cable and it is still not responding. And it's not connected to Wi-Fi either, so yeah, it's yeah. Not good. Not good at all. Okay, so I'm continuing this video on a later date, and this thing is so freaking slow that the mouse cursor can't even keep up. And right now I've got the Ethernet cable plugged in, and I do see link lights on the jack. Yet according to this, it's not even online. Probably because it's taking so long just to even acknowledge that there's a connection. I mean, this is bad. Heck, this is even worse than Windows 11 on this thing. And of course, we know this machine here definitely does not meet the Microsoft Elite class Millisys requirements on Windows 11. Nowhere close to it. Memory usage is not through the roof. I was kind of thinking it was going to be through the roof, but I mean, it's just so bad, slow. Lovely. Lovely as ever. Okay, so I end up hard resetting it again. Now things seem to be working okay. I'm not really sure what was going on. Must have been like a glitch or something, because now it's seeing the network connection and all that good stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're going to attempt to use Legacy Update. since apparently Windows Update no longer works for Windows 8.1 since it's no longer supported by Microsoft. So I think this is IE 11, and you can see web browsing on IE 11 is just really slow. I mean, it shouldn't take long to load Legacy Update. It's not like it's a really big resource intensive website. Alright, okay, let's see here. Yep, Legacy Update can install relevant updates necessary to fix access to the Windows Update service on Windows 8, Windows 7, and Windows Vista. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we'll install Legacy Update. Compatible with Windows 2000, XP, Vista, 7, 8, 8.1, Server 2003, 2008, and 2012. And of course, that's why everything is so blasted slow. It's probably Windows Update hunting for updates again, who knows. Okay, finally, here we are. So it's going to install Windows 8.1 Update 1, Windows Servicing Stack Update, and we can also install the Update Root Certificate Store. We definitely want to do that, as well as Legacy Update. So this may take a while. This may definitely take a while. So we'll let this run and see what happens. Okay, everybody, so I have let this thing run overnight. I mean, it took a good while to install this. I checked on it earlier today. I didn't actually move the mouse and wake the screen up, but I could hear this thing still working hard. Like the hard drive was wide open, you could hear the fan going, all that good stuff. I mean, it took a while to get this Legacy Update installed. So let's just see what we're dealing with now. And of course, earlier the RAM was pegged out at nearly full usage, but now you can see it's just sitting there at 33% usage. So, that being said, let's attempt to at least... Well, actually, no, it looks like we've got drivers now for the graphics. That's one thing that was missing earlier. So let's check on that. And you can see we now have our graphics media accelerator driver. So this thing overnight, it installed the needed components for Windows Update to function, I guess. So for example, let's go have a quick look here at Windows Update. You can see Legacy Update showing up there in the control panel. And you can see now we are fetching updates. I'm not going to worry about going through the process of installing every single update because this is, by all means, just a temporary installation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a few things and give this a little test run. Okay, everybody, so I just went ahead and installed Google Chrome, and that's about it. So we're going to fire up Chrome, and we'll do a little bit of web browsing, for example. And I'll let this sit and run for quite a while to try to complete the installation. So we're going to set as our default browser. And of course, it's telling us to get future Chrome updates. You'll need Windows 10 or later. This computer is running Windows 8.1. That being said, we'll demonstrate how slow it is to browse the web on this thing, and I'm sure y'all probably will know it will take quite a while. CPU usage is wide open, memory is getting up there. So yeah, these things are definitely super slow, for sure. So there's a look at Task Manager. Of course, CPU is running wide open. Now I can say, since we ran Legacy Update, it appears that Windows Update is not hogging up all the memory like it was previously. But yes, memory will be a huge constraint on this machine because it's limited to just 2 gigabytes. Now if we are running a 32-bit version of Windows 8.1, things might not be as tight, but I mean, it'll only be a pretty slight difference, really. And it would probably help if I had a solid state drive in this thing, but in previous videos, with the solid state drive installed, performance was only just ever so slightly better, if that. And of course, here's how Computer Channel looks like on a 1024 by 600 resolution screen. You can see definitely slow. Now, of course, if you are looking for an operating system for a netbook like this to make it somewhat usable, Ubuntu is actually a good option. I have a video about that. For example, we'll just play one of these videos here. You can see it's definitely taking its sweet time just loading the watch page.
Hey everybody, here we have this Bestech HX312E power supply. This unit is one of the units that's been affected by the infamous brown/tan glue.
So we are
what happens over time,
playing in
this tan glue in them is on hot spot.
I think 240, no 360. We're playing a 360p, and of course that's probably the highest we can go without having issues. I don't know why 480p is not even an option here, but yeah, 720p, I'm pretty sure we can forget about it, but what the heck, let's try it.
The glue will darken with
Oh
time,
yeah.
and it will cause
It's somewhat doing it. It's somewhat doing it. Not doing it very well though.
A number of problems. So
Yeah. Yeah, not too good. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a startup time test. So got our stopwatch here on the phone. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and restart this thing. Which before I do that, we'll show you the start screen, how that looks on a netbook. Not too bad. And of course, I've never been a fan of the start screen. And part of that is because I simply just don't like live tiles. I never have liked them. That's one thing about Windows 11 that's nice, is they got rid of them. But here's all apps. And of course it's all full screen and all the folders are open wide up. Or open wide open. Which this was another thing that I couldn't stand about Windows 8 and 8.1 was, for example, now I mean you can sort by letter. And just, yeah, I mean it'd been nice if they would have had it to where the individual folders were closed and you just click and it would expand or open to a different window or something. I don't know. I mean the start screen did have potential, but even in the Windows 8.1 Update 1, it's not as bad as it was originally. At least they do have a power button right in the start screen. Oh, it wants to install updates and then restart. Okay, we'll come back in a moment once it's done with all that. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so now we have effectively killed Windows Update. Let's go ahead and try this again. It's update and restart. Oh boy, let's see what happens. Okay, I think we're good this time. Alrighty. Okay, so roughly a minute 20 from bootloader to desktop. So this time what we're going to do is we are going to shut this off completely. Any day now. Because this time we're going to see how fast it starts up with fast startup. So it was a minute 20 roughly without fast startup, which by the way, when you restart the system, it actually does the conventional startup. And of course, fast startup was introduced in Windows 8. Okay, we are turned off. Okay, so we're going to call that a minute. So the fast startup saved about 20 seconds. We'll demonstrate some of the built-in apps. So we'll go ahead and hook back up to the internet for that. For example, we'll load up the weather. No, this app cannot run. The screen resolution is too low for this app to run. Okay, I guess I'm glad I included that. Okay, so it appears that the native resolution of the netbook is just too small for the pre-included Windows apps. Can't even open the store. So I guess all these included apps are useless on a netbook unless you, like, I guess, hook up a second monitor. But yeah. Yeah, buddy. So it looks like that can't run. Oh, we can get PC settings. Oh, and look, it's like there's just these random pointers. Here's how to use Windows 8.1. And the thing is, like, for example, you have to, like, follow it and do what it says to get it off the screen. Okay, so okay. PC settings works. That's good. I guess good to know. And you can see how, like, for example, Windows 8.1 does tend to behave a little more like a desktop operating system. Like when I closed out of PC settings, it took me back to the desktop instead of back to the start screen. But yeah, I think it's going to be a no-go for everything except even a sound recorder doesn't work. Wow. Yeah. So we are basically just limited to desktop apps with this. We can't run any of the modern UI stuff because it complains that the resolution is too low. Yeah, that's an epic fail. But anyways, yeah, Windows 8.1 on a netbook, you can forget about using the UWP apps unless you, like, hook up a second monitor or maybe find some sort of other hack. But yeah, wouldn't recommend it anyway on this machine because it's just way too freaking slow. So anyways, we'll go ahead and film the shutdown. Why not? So yeah, can't exactly recommend running Windows 8.1 on netbook because, well, for one, the performance is just not that good, and, well, what's Windows 8 without all the apps that are bundled into the start screen when you can't use them because the screen resolution being too low. That's crazy. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video from Cuckoo channel. If this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to tick the bell so we get notified when a new video post. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, and share this video as well as the channel with your friends and get the word out. Also, I have a second channel, that's CubeCompMTDX. Over there you'll find videos about thunderstorms and weather, cycling, and videos about me personally. Feel free to subscribe over there as well if you like. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for your support.